As Asit Mehta, आप तो जानते ही हो, we have always been committed to growing your business, working with you and ensuring that we grow this enterprise and we focus on creating wealth for investors over long term. So आज का वेबिनार का जो मेन टॉपिक है is how do we scale up our mutual fund business. So जैसे आप सब जानते ही हो, when you look at the mutual fund distribution opportunity or when you look at the mutual fund industry overall, it is growing very very fast. काफी तेजी से change हो रहा है. Dynamics of the industry is very changing very rapidly. Investor का expectations भी काफी बदल रहा है. With the emergence of a lot of digital platforms or a lot of platforms for investing online into mutual funds, the direct plan का भी awareness काफी बढ़ चुका है, which is causing a lot of stress, and probably a lot of investors have started thinking that they can do it on their own. अब ऐसे माहौल में it is very very important for each of us to see what can we do to add value to our investors' life. What can we do to bring a differentiation in our service to our investors, and what can we do to ensure that we get maximum share of wallet of our investors. So while we are going to be doing, अगले 2-3 हफ्ते में हम काफी सारे एजुकेशनल सीरीज करने वाले हैं जिसमें हम काफी सारे टॉपिक के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. But today we will focus mainly on how do we ensure that we grow our mutual fund opportunity and our mutual fund business opportunity. And इस presentation में या इस webinar में 2 भाग रहेंगे. The first half of the presentation or the first half of the webinar, we will talk largely about the various features and how the industry is evolving and a little more about Asit Mehta. And the second part of the presentation, we will do a small demo, a small demonstration of the technological capabilities जो हम आपके लिए लेके आए हैं. So I'll quickly start the presentation here. So I hope you are able to see my screen. Yeah. Right. So जैसे मैं कहता हूं कि म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के बारे में अगर हम बात करें, so we believe that we are still at the tip of the iceberg. Okay. म्यूचुअल फंड इंडस्ट्री में ग्रोथ इतना हो रहा है और अपॉर्चुनिटी इतनी है इस इंडस्ट्री में, हम काफी नेसेंट स्टेज में हैं एंड वी आर स्टिल एट द वेरी वेरी टिप ऑफ द आइसबर्ग. अभी हमारा काम ये है, our responsibility or our challenges are going to be how do we gear up ourselves to scale this peak, how do we gear up ourselves to stay ahead of our competition. So from that standpoint, if we have to talk about it, so as Asit Mehta, आप सब जानते हो, we have been in the business of financial services and investment advisory and financial product distribution for the last 40 years. Last 40 साल से हम इस इंडस्ट्री में हैं. एंड जैसे आप जानते ही हो कि हमारे कंपनी के जो फाउंडर्स है, वन इज मिस्टर असित मेहता हिमसेल्फ एंड मिसेस दीना मेहता. तो असित भाई जो है, इज आवर चेयरमैन एंड वन ऑफ द मोस्ट वेल नोन एंड प्रोलिफिक individuals from a capital market perspective. या फिक्स्ड इनकम के एरिया में बात करें, आई थिंक ही हैज अ वेरी वेरी फिक्स्ड इनकम एंड मनी मार्केट्स के स्पेस में अगर आप देखें, he has a fantastic track record which is amazing and he has a great reputation of running this business in a scot-free manner for a very very long time right now. हमारे जो मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर है मिसेस दीना मेहता, शी डजंट नीड एन इंट्रोडक्शन बट शी इज बीन वन ऑफ द वेटरन्स इन द कैपिटल मार्केट स्पेस इन इंडिया. सो जहां पे द कैपिटल मार्केट या रिंग, अपना स्टॉक मार्केट का जो रिंग की बात करते हैं, which was dominated by men for very very long time, she was the first woman to sort of enter the ring and rub shoulders with the who's who of the capital market space or the stock market space. And she has established herself in a very very strong way. She's also been involved as a part of our SEBI committee to sort of digitize the stock exchanges in India, where she's traveled around the world to understand the stock exchanges internationally. She's also been the person behind the BSE Star MF platform. She's been a part of that committee for the mutual fund online transaction platform. And both Asit Bhai and Deena Ben have been running this company successfully over the past many years. And with the advent of 2 new shareholders, with Pantomath Group, we have a more young and dynamic leadership team in place, along with the strong leadership of Asit Bhai and Deena Ben that comes into place as well. So to quickly take you through the brief journey of Asit Mehta Investment Intermediates for the last 40 years. Okay, 40 साल में Asit Mehta Investment Intermediates ने क्या किया है and what have we achieved for the last 40 years. That is something that we would like to take you through as a small journey. So 1985 में असित सिंह मेहता का प्रोप्राइटरी मेंबरशिप था बीएसई कैपिटल मार्केट का. 1986 में the stock broking activity had commenced for us. 1993 में Acmil as a company was incorporated. So उसके बाद 1994 में we converted our license from proprietary to a company license, and ये journey आगे बढ़ते गया. NSE capital market का license आया 94 में. 99 में CDSL का DP license मिला. 2000 में we started our F&O trading business, and like this, if we go towards 2005, we also got a category 1 merchant banking license. And then if you look at the journey beyond that, okay, in 2008 we started our currency derivatives segment, and in 2008 we started our 54 EC bonds offering. Okay, and one of the biggest achievements again during this journey is 2015 हमको NSE का registered research analyst का license भी हमको मिला. And 2006 में जैसे आप देखोगे, we had initially got our PMS license, but we had then renewed our PMS license in the year 2015-16, and we are now a full-fledged PMS manufacturer as well. 2018 में हमने हमारा proprietary stock baskets का portfolio भी launch किया था, and January 2023 we have launched our new website and a very new set of reporting and business intelligence tools for our mutual fund advisors. Right, so this has been the 40-year journey of Aditya Mehta Investment Intermediates. Now, अपने platform के ऊपर, while we go deeper into the mutual fund distribution business, अगर आप देखोगे हमारे platform पे, investmentz.com के platform पे, we have multiple products on offer, starting from mutual funds to IPOs, to stocks, that is stock broking. And then if you go into the currency segment, we also offer currency trading. We also offer stock baskets and PMS on the advisory side. And we also bring a lot of fixed income products, जैसे corporate FD हो गया, 54 EC bonds हो गए, national pension scheme हो गया, treasury bills हो गया. So we bring all of these offerings on the platform. So from an investment asset class perspective, you think about it, we have it on our platform, right? So that's the broad offering that we have on our platform. अब थोड़ा हम इंडस्ट्री के डायनामिक्स को समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. What are the various dynamics that drive our business? So when you look at your business, the first important aspect that you need to look at is your investor. अगर हम एक इन्वेस्टर के बारे में बात करें, तो एक इन्वेस्टर का लाइफ का फेज जो है 3 भाग में डिवाइड होता है, where we talk about the first phase, which is called as the earnings phase. You know, as soon as they finish their graduation, as soon as they finish their post-graduation, etc., the first phase of life that these guys enter is the earning phase, okay, which is the stage where काफी पैसा आ रहा है, they are able to take risks, they have time on their side, they have enough risk appetite. So this is what we call as our earning phase. The second part of the life, which we basically look at from an investor's perspective, is the growing phase. Earning phase is typically people who start working at the age of maybe 19, 20, 21, and they can keep going. So up to the age of maybe 30 is what we talk about a full-fledged aggressive earning phase that people are in, and they are earning probably lower salaries than what they would earn at a later stage in their career. So that is the time which we call as the earning stage. The second phase is called the growing phase. So let's say people go beyond the age of 30 or mid 30s, or when they're nearing the age of 40s, that is what we call as a growing phase. So when people move towards a growing phase, हमको ये ध्यान में रखना चाहिए कि उनका capability of taking risk is reducing when compared to the earning phase. So वो time में जो आप products or services आप आपके investor को offer करोगे, that is something which needs to be kept in mind from a risk appetite perspective. The third phase that we talk about is most important, which is the reaping phase. So अगर reaping phase की बात करें, that is a time जहाँ पे investor का risk appetite हो या earning capability हो is at an all-time low. So basically, जैसे आप सब जानते हो, बुढ़ापे में most people need a walking stick to walk. An investor's life cycle or an investor's pattern during their life also is almost like a walking stick, where the earning phase and growing phase is very straight in nature. But when it comes to the reaping phase, the phase is small, the phase is difficult, and that's the most important part of their life, when they really need makes it very difficult to sort of make sure that उसको हम controlled way में उनको रख पाए और उनका decision oriented हम style उनके लिए कर पाए. So indecisive nature becomes the second important difficulty. तीसरा है volatile minds. Okay, volatile minds में क्या होता है कि when the markets are going up, the emotions are positive, the trends are positive, everything is positive, everything is talking good about the market at that point in time. But at that time, the markets are going to be most expensive and most highly priced. And when the markets start falling, जहां पे लोगों को और पैसा डालना चाहिए, पीपल को काम रहना चाहिए, एसआईपी करना चाहिए, वो टाइम में लोग शायद रिडीम करते रहेंगे. सो देयर इज अ बिग अमाउंट ऑफ वॉलेटिलिटी इन द माइंड्स ऑफ द इन्वेस्टर्स. सो टिपिकली जब भी हम इन्वेस्टर्स के साथ बैठते हैं तो लोग हमको बोलते हैं सर आप ये इन्वेस्टमेंट स्ट्रैटेजी बना रहे हो, आप ये बना रहे हो, वो बना रहे हो, ओके, बट हाउ डू यू टेक केयर ऑफ द वॉलेटिलिटी ऑन द मार्केट? So what we typically tell our investors is that, sir, volatility of the market, you don't have to worry about it. That is something which is manageable. Volatility in the minds of the investor is the most difficult things to manage, is one of the most difficult things to manage. So if we are able to manage अपना investor के दिमाग में जो volatility है उसको अगर हम manage कर पाए, I think that is going to be very important for our business. Then एक और चीज जो आ जाती है is return orientation. हमारे इन्वेस्टर्स को हमेशा यही पता चलना होता है कि भाई ये फंड ने कितना रिटर्न जनरेट किया, व्हाट रिटर्न डिड दिस स्ट्रेटजी डिलीवर. सो व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट अ पर्टिकुलर इन्वेस्टमेंट स्टाइल और व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट अ पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट, the investor is not really keen to understand what is the strength of the product or strength of that asset class. They are more focused on what is the returns that that product is generating, right? So return orientation is another challenge that we are facing. Last but not the least, this is one of the biggest problems where Google and all such open platforms are bringing so much information to investors that investor को काफी दिक्कत हो जाती है to analyze what kind of information is right for them and what kind of information is not right for them. So these are the 5 kind of problems that we believe that investors are facing today, or what we face with investors today. अपना role क्या है? What is our role as a distributor, financial product distributor? अपना role क्या है? Let us focus on understanding this first. पहला step है to understand your investor. आपका इन्वेस्टर का रिस्क एपिटाइट क्या है, आपका इन्वेस्टर का फैमिली कौन है, उनका थॉट प्रोसेस क्या है, उनका अर्निंग कैपेबिलिटी क्या है, उनका लॉन्ग टर्म गोल्स क्या है, ये सब पहले इन्वेस्टर और उनके फैमिली को समझना इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टास्क. Then we come to the second aspect, which is evaluation of risk. So basis how much money the investor is earning, basis how many dependent members they have in their family, how many what is the kind of risk appetite an investor has, या कितना risk tolerance उनमें है, कितना percentage loss वो अपने portfolio में देख सकते हैं over a short term. On the basis of these aspects, we evaluate the risk of the risk of the investor, which is the second aspect. Then we move to the third aspect, which is analyzing the various investment options that are available. So mutual fund industry की अगर हम बात करें, we have equity oriented mutual funds, we have aggressive funds, we have balance advantage funds, we have arbitrage funds, we have liquid funds, we have debt funds, and various other products like that. Gold ETFs bhi hai, okay, thematics bhi hai. There are a lot of these aspects. So analyzing the investment options becomes the third most important aspect. उसके बाद आता है चौथा aspect which we are talking about, educating the investor. So investor को समझाना बहुत जरूरी है, making sure that the investor understands what we are talking about and understands the mutual funds, understands the capital market is very important. So educating them becomes the fourth important step. Then we talk about the fifth important step, which is understanding their financial needs. So today the investor, most investors यही सोचते हैं कि जब मेरे बच्चों का पढ़ाई करने का माहौल need आएगा, by that time I will definitely have money. When I have to get my daughter married, I will have a lot of money. When I need to have my son married, I will have a lot of money. But that is a very ad hoc approach. ये approach ही गलत है. We need to make sure कि जब हम हर investor के साथ बैठते हैं, we need to make sure कि हम उनके साथ बैठें. We note down the points that they have. We note down their financial aspirations. We note down their financial goals and their needs over short and long term. So understanding their financial needs also becomes very important. The sixth point is making sure that we diversify their risk. Okay, risk diversification बहुत जरूरी है. हर product, हर पैसे को एक ही type of mutual fund में डालना is not a good idea. We need to diversify the risk in their portfolio across various other mutual funds. Last but not the least, which is the seventh point, okay, is that how we need to make sure that we align them to look at performance of their portfolios in line with their goals, in line with their financial goals or financial aspirations and not short-term returns of specific mutual funds. अगर हम इस चीज को ओरिएंट कर पाए in all these 7 points, if we are able to build a scalable mechanism and an accountable mechanism to carry out business in this way with our investors, then we are more than sure, and we can be extremely sure that our business is going to be able to be scaled up in a very, very big way, right? So these are the 7 points that I believe that we should be playing a role as far as our life with our investors are concerned. Now, let's go to the point of why should we focus on mutual fund distribution. So, अगर हम असित सी मेहता में हमारे जितने भी distributors हैं, हमारे जितने भी business partners हैं, okay, उनका अगर हम if we do a certain analysis, okay, we always see that, these are people who are very strong on the broking side, very strong on taking decisions on stocks. But mutual fund as an asset class becomes very, very important. And अगर हम ये शेयर ऑफ वॉलेट को अगर हम अप्रोच करने की कोशिश नहीं करेंगे, तो ऑब्वियसली somebody else is catering to this and somebody else is taking away this part of allocation of your portfolio. Mutual fund AUM अगर हम देखें as a percentage of GDP, if we look at some global analytics, okay, USA में अगर आप देखोगे जो डेवलप मार्केट्स में सबसे ज्यादा डेवलप्ड है, US markets, if we look at the mutual fund AUM as a percentage of the GDP, it's almost close to about 80 to 85% के बीच में आता है. Similarly, Europe has a penetration of anywhere between a little above 40%. Brazil, okay, the market and GDP both are very small, but they are close to about 45%. UK is hovering around the close to 40% mark. World average अगर हम देखें across the different parts of the world, अगर if you look at the world average today stands at about 35% penetration of mutual fund AUM vis-a-vis the GDP as a percentage of the GDP. And when you then look at the emerging markets are very, very small, while China is not an emerging market, and Japan, okay. But if you look at India, okay, our penetration or our percentage of GDP, that is the MF AUM, is just a little over 5%. Indian mutual fund AUM का अगर आप percentage as a percentage of GDP अगर आप evaluate करोगे, it is just a little over 5%. And if we look at the top first decile states in India, okay, that tends to be about 30%. But if we look at rest of India, it is just about 1.86%. So हम कहने की ये कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि if we look at the tier 2, tier 3 cities in India, or if we look at the people at the bottom of the pyramid in India, then there is a huge growth opportunity, which is just 1.86% at this stage of the country's GDP, right? Now, if you look at the growth of the mutual fund industry, the way it has been, is over the last 5 to 6 years, हमने देखा है कि the mutual fund industry is growing at an average of greater than 50% in terms of the AUM of the overall industry. But अगर हम long term trend देखें, if you look at the AUM in trillion rupees, 2015 it was just 10.8 trillion, okay, whereas by the year 2021, which is again we're talking about a period of 5 to 6 years, it has grown from 10.8% to 10.8 trillion to 31.3 trillion. And this over the period of next 8 to 10 years is expected to grow to about $91.5 trillion rupees. So we clearly see कि mutual fund का growth का जो trajectory की हम बात कर रहे हैं, it is uncomparable and it is unprecedented from a growth perspective over the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years to come. I still see that there are a couple of people who are raising your hands and there are some question and answers which are coming in. This presentation will last another 20 odd minutes. So मेरा request है कि जिसको भी questions आ रहा है, you can drop it in the chat box or you can leave your hand raised. As soon as I complete this presentation, we will take all your questions. Now, while we understood that investors के साथ problems क्या होती है, while we understood the life cycle of an investor, while we understood that mutual fund becomes a very, very important component to an investor's portfolio, and we also spoke about why Asit C. Mehta or Investmentz.com, we intend to be your partner or your best partner for the growth in your mutual fund business. Let me quickly take you through a demonstration of our platform, right? So I'm just going to quickly go to our platform. Let me quickly log in. Just give me a quick minute. We will bring this up. Okay, so this is the dashboard that you will see as soon as one logs into our investmentz.com portal. And जैसे कि हम सब जानते हैं कि ये सारे प्रोडक्ट स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम म्यूचुअल फंड्स टू स्टॉक्स टू आईपीओस, ये सारे चीजें हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे अवेलेबल है. But to just keep our conversation restricted to the mutual fund piece for today. So if I go to my mutual fund dashboard, we see that these are the various options that are available from a distributor perspective. आप ये सब चीजें देख सकते हो, but this is what we want to do a demonstration of, which is our 360-degree MF reports. Okay, so this is what we have newly introduced and made it available to our distributors. So यहाँ पे अगर आप देखो left side of the screen, we have all the various menu options that are available. So we will start with the first menu option that is there, which is our dashboard. और अगर हम डैशबोर्ड के बारे में देखें, the first thing it talks about is what is the total AUM, कितना अपना total AUM है आपका as a business associate or a marketing associate with us, what is your overall AUM, उसमें how much is the equity AUM and how much is the non-equity AUM. Then we talk about what is the total number of investors that we have. SIP आपका कितना चल रहा है in terms of amount as in February 2023, कितने SIP clients है और कितना SIP count है, how many SIPs are running as far as your investors are concerned. I can come here and I can enter the name of the investor. You can do a client search from here. Okay, select the client name and then you can decide whether you want to see the portfolio valuation of an investor, whether you want to see their portfolio summary, or you want to see their recent transactions, or you want to look at their specific dashboard. Okay, and below this you also see what is called as a business update. So business update में आपके पास multiple options आती है, where you can look at your business for the current month, you can look at your business for the last month, you can look at the business for this current financial year, or you can also even look at it from a last financial year perspective. Okay, I hope you're able to see the screen. You're able to see the screen? Yeah, cool. So, so after this business update here, you can select which month you want to see and what are the various options. Investment kitna aaya hai, redemption kitna hua hai, and net what is the business that your portfolio has done over, what you have done over a long period of time. So this investments, if you see, we've classified it into various asset classes. One is debt, second is equity, third is hybrid, fourth is liquid, then arbitrage, then others, and what is the total. So these are the updates on what is the kind of transaction values that you've done over the various periods of time. And what are the last transaction date kya hua hai across CAMS, Carvi, and on which ARN. Credential status, okay. Where are we as far as the credentials? Are the credentials still active or are they getting expired? कितने compliance में, कितने आपके clients में email ID missing है, कितने आपके clients में PAN missing? Obviously PAN missing may be very less number of cases because PAN has been mandatory. EUIN का remediation आपके, अगर if you have more number of sub brokers as a part of your team or sales people as a part of your team, उनमें EUIN remediation कितने लोगों का बाकी है, upcoming birthdays किस के है, और SIP maturity किस की हो रही है. This is the kind of information availability that is there on your main dashboard, right? So this is the dashboard that we saw. Second option अपना left of the screen, what is there is the client's dashboard. Okay, so यहाँ पे आके you can click, you can toggle between whether you want to see all the clients or you want to see only clients where there are family heads. Okay, so you can toggle between these two. If there are head of families created in certain number of clients, तो सिर्फ वो clients का list आएगा. And अगर आप all clients देखना चाहोगे, तो you can toggle to the left side of the screen. Okay, and when we talk about each of the investors that reflect here, Okay, we can see कि investor का name क्या है, family head कौन है, relationship manager कौन है, sub broker कौन है, RM कौन है. You can see all this kind of information. And when I click on the client information, I can come here and see, I can even upload their picture and keep it here. What is their mobile number? What's their email ID? Who is the relationship manager? What is the investor's PAN number, address, etc. And I can also come here where there is a quick link. I can come here and click on the dashboard of an investor. I can look at their portfolio from here. I can drop their portfolio valuation from here. We can send invitation for a webinar or a call or anything of that kind from here. What are the various folios that are available for that investor under your ARN number? And what are the recent transactions that this particular investor has done? So this is our client dashboard. The third option that you have on your left is your folio lookup. Okay, जहाँ पे आप investor का folio number enter कर सकते हो. You can map it to a particular ID and you can select which fund or all category, and then you can probably get the list of all folios that are there in a particular fund or a particular category. Then we have something very, very interesting, which is called utilities, which is what we call as market intelligence. So market में बहुत सारे platforms available है where you can probably get this information at a subscription price, where you get mutual fund NAVs, you get rolling returns, which are the top schemes, etc., etc. आप पैसे भरोगे as a subscription charge, you can get all of this from any of the platforms. But हम at Asit Mehta, because of the relationship we have with you, we are bringing all that information and making it available on a platter to you. So utilities के अंदर you can come here and select which are the top schemes. Okay, you can enter the scheme name or you can select the category. So I can say equity category mein, which are the best schemes. Okay. And I can also take the expense ratio. What are the various indices? Are there ETFs? Or what is the NAVs of the direct plans? Yeah, cost closed-ended schemes hai. And if you come here, it is showing you the list of all the schemes. You can then sort it by alphabetical order, upwards or downwards. You can sort it on NAV, or you can sort it to say, जिसका highest AUM है वो मेरे को दिखाओ, या जिसका 5-year highest return है वो मेरे को दिखाना. If whichever has 10 years highest return, you can show that. You can say, show me the schemes which has highest since inception returns. So these are the kind of things you can get in terms of information. Here you can see the ratings of the fund. You can also click on making this as your favorite, so that if you want to suggest it to any of your investors, you can go ahead and suggest it at a later stage. So after we look at the top schemes, there is also an option called rolling returns. Okay, you can do a comparison. You can take up to 5 schemes. 5 scheme ka names आप इधर डाल सकते हो, and you can do a 1-year, 3-year, 5-year rolling return comparison of the various schemes. We also have something called task manager, where you can create tasks for yourself, or if you have a team, you can create tasks and you can view the status of each of those tasks here. Then we have something called goal planner. Okay, here it will show you based on the number of clients you have, कितने लोगों को आपने goal planning किया है, कितने लोगों के पास कितने goals है, what is their age and all other aspects. You can come and look at it here. Okay, so for example, I will take one of the names. Okay, let's say I'll select Sitaram Jadhav. Okay, so I will know that there is one goal created here for this investor, and once I come into the screen, I'll be able to see what are the various goals that have been created for them. And goals mein agar aap dekho, there are various options. Okay, goal maker mein, there is a retirement goal, there is an education goal, children's education goal or whatever, children's marriage goal, ya khud ka marriage goal agar ho, ya sister ka marriage goal agar ho, all of that you can do it. Vacation ka ek goal aa gaya, general ka ek goal aa gaya, anything with regards to buying a home or buying a vehicle. So these are the kind of goals that are available here. So आपके पास एक बढ़िया मौका मिलता है जहां पे आप एक इन्वेस्टर के साथ बैठ के आप डिफाइन कर सकते हो कि these are your financial goals for which you need this amount of capital over so and so period of time. So those kind of goals you create. इसके बाद ये करने के बाद what you can do is you can come to the screen which is called map assets. Okay, for example, wo client ke there are certain number of mutual funds which are available across different categories, and you can say that mere asset ka, let's say cash management fund hai. Okay, I can take this particular scheme and allot it to a particular goal. So what happens is her mutual fund ka scheme aapke paas jo available hai, you are mapping each of that to each of the goals that is defined for that particular investor. And then we have something called goal status. So हर एक इन्वेस्टर का जो गोल है उसका स्टेटस क्या है, हाउ आर दे प्रोग्रेसिंग ऑन दैट, सो दिस काइंड ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन इज अवेलेबल टू यू. सो इफ यू आस्क मी व्हाई इज गोल प्लानिंग इंपॉर्टेंट, सो टुडे जब भी आप कोई इन्वेस्टर के साथ बैठ के पोर्टफोलियो रिव्यू करते हो, ओके, वन ऑफ द थिंग्स दैट मोस्ट एडवाइजर्स डिस्कस विद देयर इन्वेस्टर्स इज फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग. बट उसका डैशबोर्ड आप कैसे दोगे? When you are seeing that there are a lot of mutual fund schemes available in an investor's portfolio, हर scheme हर time में best performance देगा, this is something which you cannot predict and it is not in your control. But how do you ensure, जैसे हमने what as an advisor we should do, वो वाले screen में what I had explained to you is to say that you need to make sure that you orient them towards your financial goals, and once you orient them towards their financial goals, then you are reviewing the status of their completion on their financial goal. So you are no more discussing business targets, you are discussing on what is their financial goals and how are they running from a run rate perspective for their financial goals. So that is where financial planning and all of this becomes very, very important. Then we have model portfolios. So this is something which we will do a demonstration separately for you all at a later stage. There are a lot of calculators that we have here. SIP calculators hai. What is the future projection of an SIP amount with a given percentage return? So SIP calculators are there, STP calculators are there, SWP calculators, SIP delay. If you delay your SIPs to start your SIPs, what will be its impact and what are the future projections on that? Step up SIP calculator. So these kind of calculators are available. Then we talk about market data, where you have dividend histories, you have various NFOs that are going to come, NAV history hai, FMP list hai, which are the top mutual fund gainers, which are the top mutual fund losers. So this kind of market data is also available. This is where you can do a comparison of various mutual fund schemes. You select the different kind of mutual fund schemes, and if you want to then compare what are the trailing returns of these schemes, what are the rolling returns of these schemes, what is the growth calculator, that is isme paisa dalenge to how have they grown across various different mutual funds, and SIP calculator. So this kind of analytics in terms of mutual fund comparison is also available. Then we have something called fund selector. Fund selector mein you can select any of these criteria and you can apply, and then you can put filters that all funds which have completed over 5 years, all funds which have delivered more than 10% returns. So you can build those kind of parameters and you can do your fund selection as well from here. Again, here we have something called transaction view. So across various asset classes. So while this is an exclusive mutual fund platform, but hum ye reporting mein we are also giving you this option to say that if you have a share and bonds portfolio, uska bhi aap entry isme karke you can generate a consolidated report for your investors. You may have FDs, you may have PMSs, you may have other asset classes available in your portfolio. वो सब चीजों को आप इसमें डेटा एंट्री करके consolidated report आप आपके इन्वेस्टर को दे सकते हो. Then we have something called insurance. So all the insurance policies which you have advised for your investors, you can make an entry here, and that also gives you a consolidated report. Okay. Then we have something called business analytics. ये बहुत important हो जाता है. Like we say, data is a new oil. Okay. So data analytics में जो है, it gives you a lot of information pertaining to AUM reports. So आपका bifurcation across different AMCs में कैसा आपका AUM divide हुआ है. How have they been divided across various schemes, various categories, RM wise, ARN wise, all of that you can view in the AUM reports. We also have something called SIP mining. SIP mining, you can see which are the running SIPs, which are the new SIPs that are getting added, which are the SIPs that have got terminated, SIPs across the various clients that you have, cash flows. Okay, how are the incomes of your investments going on from a cash flow perspective? That is something you can see. You can also set up various alerts. You also can have security exposure for your clients. Okay, if your clients have specific exposure to any specific holding that you want to alert yourself on or alert them on, so wo security exposure alert bhi aap rakh sakte ho. Then if there is any transactions which are received for change of broker, so that also you can view here. AUM growth report ho gaya, SIP business report ho gaya. So there are about 12-15 different kind of reports that are available here. You can speak to your respective relationship manager. They will help you get a deep dive or understanding of these reports. And if you are tech savvy yourself, this reports or these facilities are already live on our website. You can go and look at these features that are available as we speak right now. Then we have something called data management. AUM reconciliation ho gaya, duplicates finder. If you have clients where you've created duplicate accounts, you have SOA downloads for your investors, CAS, the consolidated account statement ka import if you want to do, and if you want to create different kind of transactions for reporting for your investor, wo idhar se kar sakte ho. Okay. Then we have something called comprehensive portfolio. So this is where it gives you a comprehensive portfolio report with your branding and your client's family details across various asset classes. So comprehensive portfolio reporting is also something we have. And then we have something called portfolio screener. Okay. So portfolio screener mein we can look at what kind of investments or what kind of schemes are available for at what period of time or how much period of time for your investors. So this is a very, very easy tool to sort of go ahead and screen your investors' portfolios. Last but not the least, we have something called risk profiling. Okay, risk profiling mein main agar aun, I can come here and say, I can do, for example, jaise humne starting screen mein dikhaya aapko, when you come to the clients, you can come here and you can do risk profiling for your investor. Or, if you look at this, we have, let's say rolling profile, when we look at the various options that are available here from a client's perspective. So you can do those kind of risk profiling to be done here. And on the basis of about 10 odd questions, 10 questions aapke investor ko answer karao. And then you will be able to find out what is the risk appetite of that investor, whether they are moderately aggressive, moderate, conservative, aggressive, and based on that, you can create various asset classes or various investment solutions for your investor, right? So all these reports are already live, like I told you, and apne business mein products, schemes, and all of this is available across all the advisors. But our differentiator is going to be what is the advantage or what are you offering extra to your investor in terms of value add. So that becomes a very, very important role. So with that, I bring ourselves close to the end of the webinar from my side from a presentation perspective. But I'm now happy to take questions from participants who have any questions. I did see a few of them raising hands, so I will go back and see. And if there are any questions, you can drop it in the chat box, or you can also raise your hand and then we can bring up your questions. So I think Jalaj Kumar ji wanted to ask some question. Anybody has any questions? I'm happy to take. You can drop it in the chat box, or of course, I mean, today during the presentation, हमने आपको काफी चीजें समझाई है. There are a lot of opportunities that we've shown you in terms of the various reports that are available, etc. Even if you don't have any questions right now, you can definitely log into your portal. You can go through the various options that we have available. Explore कीजिए, go through the various reports that are available, and then you can definitely come back to us and ask us if you have any questions. So there's somebody called Vikas Maggo. Vikas ji.
हेलो
हाँ विकास जी, आई कैन हियर यू नाउ.
नमस्कार सर.
नमस्कार सर.
ये अपना जो सॉफ्टवेयर है, वेबसाइट्स है, इसके अलावा क्या मोबाइल ऐप भी है कस्टमर को देने के लिए या खाली वेबसाइट ही है?
वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन सर. सो ये सब जो फीचर्स आप देख रहे हो, इट इज ऑलरेडी इंटीग्रेटेड ऑन आवर investmentz.com website, and it is in the process of getting integrated on the mobile app. So right now it's available on the website. Very soon it will be available on the mobile app as well.
मोबाइल ऐप में क्या एप्पल और एंड्रॉइड दोनों के लिए रहेगा कि कैसे रहेगा?
दोनों में आएगा सर, because our investmentz.com app is available both on Android and iOS. So all the facilities that we offer will be available across operating system.
इसमें जो लोगो रहेगा वो हमारा रहेगा या हमें आपके नाम से इसे करना पड़ेगा, कैसे रहेगा इसमें?
So at the moment it will reflect Asit C Mehta investment advisory, investment intermediates logo, but we are also going to come up with a facility where you can insert your logo as well.
And what is the charges of this?
This is absolutely free of cost and it's already live on our portal, sir.
नहीं, अगर हम इसमें अपनी आईडी बनाएंगे, कस्टमर्स को देंगे, तो डाटा का जो कंसाइल करेंगे, सब चीजें करेंगे, वो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट है अभी?
एब्सोल्युटली, आज की तारीख में इफ यू आर रजिस्टर्ड विद अस एज अ बीए और एमए, ओके, this is already active and available on your login at no cost.
आने वाले टाइम में
We intend to keep this free of cost, sir. This is what we are providing as an additional value add to your business, so we don't intend to charge for this.
ओके, ठीक है। इसका आईडी पासवर्ड इसका कैसे क्रिएट होगा, कैसे बनाएंगे हम लोग?
आपके पास हमारा investmentz.com का लॉगिन आईडी पासवर्ड है सर?
एक मिनट होल्ड कीजिए, मैं चेक कर लेता हूँ। मेरे ख्याल से नहीं है।
आपका रिलेशनशिप कौन मैनेज कर रहा है सर हमारे तरफ से?
अभी कोई नहीं, मुझे कल ही मैसेज आया था इसके लिए, जब मैंने वो लॉगिन किया था, तो अभी मेरे पास ऐसा कुछ आया नहीं है।
What I will do is, we will, you can just leave us with your email ID on the chat box. We will get somebody from our team to get back to you and make sure that we do a demo in detail. And आपको login ID password भी हम पहुंचा देंगे इसके अंदर।
ओके, मिस्टर स्वप्निल।
स्वप्निल आपका रिलेशन मैनेज करे, ठीक है। I will let Swapnil know that he has to reach out to you.
ओके, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Okay sir, thank you Vikas ji.
थैंक यू।
Right. Jalaj ji, you are there?
हेलो सर।
हाँ जलज जी बताइए।
यस सर, इसमें जो है आपकी आईडी तो दी हुई है इसमें।
आईडी क्या बोल रहे हो सर?
यस सर, ईमेल जो दिया था हम उसमें ज्वाइन हुए हैं।
हाँ जी।
यस सर, तो इसको मतलब ओपन जैसे करेंगे तो क्या करेंगे सबसे पहले?
So what we will do is, जलज जी, आप अगर हमारे साथ एम्पैनल होना चाहते हो तो हमारा एम्पैनलमेंट प्रोसेस भी ऑनलाइन है। So
yes,
आप सिर्फ चैट बॉक्स में आपका ईमेल आईडी लिख दीजिए, हमारे टीम से पीपल विल गेट इन टच विद यू फॉर एम्पैनलमेंट एंड लॉगिन आईडी पासवर्ड वगैरह बना के दे देंगे आपको।
ओके सर।
ठीक है सर?
चैट में सर करना है?
हाँ, चैट बॉक्स में आपका ईमेल आईडी डाल दीजिए बस।
ओके सर, ओके।
ओके, ठीक है सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
मनीष भवसार जी, मनीष जी, you'll have to unmute yourself.
ओके।
हाँ, अभी सुनाई दे रहा है, बोलिए सर।
मेरा सवाल ये था कि जैसे हम लोग इसमें एम्पैनल्ड हैं और म्यूचुअल फंड्स का करते हैं, तो इसमें जो जीएसटी का पोर्शन रहता है, कमीशंस के जीएसटी का ये रहता है कम?
सर कमीशंस रिलेटेड हम आपको ना, वी विल टेक अ स्पेसिफिक एग्जांपल आपके लिए, आपका स्पेसिफिक पोर्टफोलियो, आपका स्पेसिफिक बिजनेस का फोलियो निकाल के वी विल डू एन एक्सप्लेनेशन विद यू आफ्टर दिस कॉल। आपका रिलेशनशिप हमारे पास कौन मैनेज कर रहे हैं सर?
सुशांत ज्योतिथोर।
सुशांत ना, सो मैं सुशांत को बोल दूंगा कि he will reach out to you and explain the working of these of GST and all the commissions, how it works. We will call you back and we will explain this to you.
ओके ओके,
Right? Thank you sir, thank you very much.
थैंक यू।
Hi Parvez ji.
ना आपका ना जो ना एप्लीकेशन है फोन पे नहीं है, चलता है नहीं, तो ना कोई ना कस्टमर के पास गए ना सर, तो फिर उनको ना समझो किसी का पोर्टफोलियो व्यू है करना है, तो ना वो ना व्यू ही नहीं है, होता है नहीं एक्चुअली।
नहीं आप क्या मोबाइल ऐप पे पोर्टफोलियो व्यू नहीं हो रहा है, ये बोल रहे हो?
या राइट। मैं ना खुद ही हूँ मैं ना मेरा कोड है खुद का आपके पास। तो ना पहले ना हम किसी पे कस्टमर के पास गए ना, तो फोन पे ऑप्शन था वो ना व्यू करने के, समझो मेरे को किसका पोर्टफोलियो दिखाने का एग्जांपल कि वो उनका इतना इंक्रीज हुआ है कि इतना पोर्टफोलियो हुआ है। मगर अभी क्या है, यहाँ पे लॉगिन करने के बाद ना इन्वेस्टमेंट में किया ना, उसके बाद आगे ना पोर्टल हटता ही है नहीं सर। अभी समझो किसके पास लैपटॉप नहीं है या टैब नहीं है, किसके पास फोन ही है, तो पहले वो ऑप्शन था जो ना फोन से ना पोर्टफोलियो रिव्यू करके दिखा सकते थे कि भाई इतना इतना कस्टमर का ग्रोथ है, तो आप भी डालिए, ये फंड है। मगर अभी क्या हो रहा है कि वो फोन से ऑपरेट ही नहीं है, होता ही है नहीं सर।
ओके, सो सर इसमें मैं आपको एक चीज बताता हूँ कि आई थिंक एक आपको ना अभी जो हमारा ऐप है और हमारा जो मोबाइल, हेलो
या सर।
हाँ, सो हमारा जो मोबाइल ऐप है अभी जो हमने अपग्रेड किया है और जो फैसिलिटी सारी जो अवेलेबल है, ओके, आप जो चीजें बोल रहे हो, आई एम डेफिनेटली अवेयर कि दीज फैसिलिटीज आर अवेलेबल ऑन द मोबाइल एंड दी वेब इंटरफेस। व्हाट वी विल डू इज, आपका रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर को हम आपको बता देंगे कि दे विल रीच आउट टू यू। सो आई एम श्योर योर रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर एंड द टीम इज अवेलेबल ऑन द कॉल। सो परवेज जी का जो भी रिलेशनशिप मैनेज कर रहे हैं, प्लीज एंश्योर दैट you reach out to them and do a demo of all of this as quickly as possible. ठीक है sir, we'll get our team to reach out to you again. Okay, so I see that there are quite a few questions which are coming on the chat box, so let me quickly take them one by one. And in the meanwhile, अगर किसी को hand raise करके आपको सवाल directly पूछना भी है, I'm more than happy to take that. So we have the first question from Mr. Jairam Amin. So is this a sub-broker model like NJ or ICICI Direct? How do I get access to investmentz.com? So Mr. Amin, you're absolutely right. So we have been in the business of B2B for the last 40 years. And yes, we have been very aggressive on the broking side for many years. Investments products, that is mutual funds, bonds, ETFs, stock baskets, etc., in a sub-advisory model or a channel partner-like model is something that we're promoting very significantly right now. And we have our sales team present, across multiple locations today. And every single day we are adding more locations on a pan-India basis to sort of reach out to you. So Jairam Aminji, if you can drop me your email ID, or obviously if you have entered your email ID when you entered the call, so we will get somebody to reach out to you and get you to empanel. Getting access to investmentz.com is a very, very simple process. The empanelment process is completely online, and we just need to do a couple of steps in terms of empanelment. It's fully online, and then you'll be good to go. So practically this takes just a couple of hours for empanelment to be done. So my team will reach out to you immediately between this call and maybe tomorrow, and we'll ensure that your empanelment is done with us. So Kaushik Kelkar ji पूछ रहे हैं कि what is the link to our portal login? So Kaushik Kelkar ji, you can just go to investmentz.com. उसमें there is you will see 5 icons there. उसमें आप login click करिए. Login click करोगे तो you will be able to use your RC code or your email ID. उसके अंदर आप login करके on the left of your screen you will see something called 360 degree MF reports. उस पे आप क्लिक करोगे तो ये पूरा मॉड्यूल आपको अवेलेबल हो जाएगा ऑन योर स्क्रीन. Please go through it, and if you're finding challenge understanding any of that, we'll be more than happy to sort of do a one-on-one demo with you also. Shailendra Deshpande ji बोल रहे हैं कि can we get flyers? Yeah, Tarun Kalra ji, I'm coming to that. I'm just scrolling down my screen, so my apologies. I'm just going from the questions which were there right at the top of the screen. So Shailendra ji was asking if we can get any flyers or one-pagers of NFOs or existing MFs on investmentz.com platform. Shailendra ji, right now we have not made it available on our investmentz.com platform, but we have done something which is beyond that. Okay, so जितने भी NFOs आ रहे हैं, जितने भी न्यू म्यूचुअल फंड स्कीम्स आ रहे हैं, आप आपके रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर को रीच आउट कर सकते हो, एंड वी विल गिव यू कस्टमाइज्ड इमेजेस. ओके, हर नया AMC का जो 1 पेज इमेजेस होता है या व्हाट्सएप वीडियोस होती है, उसमें आपका नाम, आपका कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर, ईमेल आईडी डाल के कस्टमाइज करके आवर मार्केटिंग टीम कैन गिव यू दीज images which you can use. Put it on your status, keep sharing it with your people, share it on your digital marketing handles as well. So I think these are things that we can make it very, very customized for you. So Tarun Kalra ji, my apologies for coming late, but yes, I've come to the 3 questions of yours. Is it mandatory for us to have an ARN to tie up with you to start selling? Yes, Tarun ji, it is important to be AMFI certified. NISM certified, but you can empanel with us as a marketing associate, and it's a very, very simple online process. So my team will reach out to you to see how we can facilitate empanelment on our platform ASAP. Second question you had was, I am keen to know about the commission percentage on a variety of products that we can offer via you, especially sovereign gold bonds. See, again, the commission structures or the revenue sharing model varies across different products, Tarunji. Okay, and when we talk about sovereign gold bonds, etc., again, these are bonds that come for a specific period of time. I know our, SGB and mutual funds head Manju was mentioning that there's another SGB which is starting early next week. So we will get our sovereign gold bond team and Manju's team, somebody to get in touch with you along with our relationship manager and share the revenue sharing model with you as quickly as possible. Do you have apps for advisors as well as customers? Absolutely right. Our mobile app, investmentz.com, has a different login and different set of features that is provided to advisors. They will have a different login and different set of features which are available to investors. So in a nutshell, these are apps available. The web and mobile interface is available to both investors and advisors as well. I hope that answers your question, Tarunji. And if there's some part which I have not answered, you can drop your question back or you can raise your hand. I'm happy to take it again. Yeah, Supriya ji, I think जैसे मैंने कहा, revenue sharing model is going to be a function of what kind of AUMs and what kind of business opportunity we have. So that is something which we can share it with you. And आपने अगर आपका email ID share किया है, we will have our relationship management team to reach out to you and take you through this. SIP OTM registration option is available through ATM card. Today, if you see, we definitely have UPI and bank mandate is what we definitely have. Okay, but whether it's available on ATM card, this is something which I will have my team to come back to you, Vinayji. In goal planning option, can we track the client's progress? Oh yes, definitely this is possible. So when you look at abhi jab investor login karte hain, okay, so investor will be able to see, and we also will be able to see what is the, like I said, abhi for example, Anand Vardarajan has 5 goals. One is my retirement, second is my contingency, third is medical emergency, fourth is house, and fifth is my daughter's education and daughter's, let's say, wedding. So ye 5-6 jo maine goal banai hai, I will be able to see which of my mutual fund schemes are mapped to which goal. कौन से फाइनेंशियल गोल को अचीव करने के लिए मेरे को कितना SIP और करना है, कितना लमसम और करना है, and am I going to achieve my goal within the specific deadline, yes or no? So this kind of detailed information is definitely available on our portal. I would recommend that you log in and get the, मैं सारे distributors को बोलूंगा, सारे हमारे associates को बोलूंगा कि you should log into our portal and create goals and mapping of goals to every investor that you have on board. That will make your relationship with your investors very, very strong. I hope that answers, and let me quickly come up and see if there are any further questions that are coming up. All right, so I don't see any more questions right now. Of course, this is just the beginning, and we have really seen that there is a lot of options and lot of features that are being made available on our platform. So जैसे जैसे आप use करोगे, please feel free to reach out to our relationship management team, and wherever you have any questions, we are more than happy to take it even after this conference call. Right, so because we don't have any more questions, I'm just going to quickly summarize, and if there are any questions that come, I'll be happy to take it. Otherwise, we'll close the call for today. Is that understanding your investor is very, very important. Creating a sustainable business growth plan in terms of client acquisition, digital marketing, focusing on reviewing of portfolios with investors, creation of financial goals, mapping of financial goals to investors' asset classes, to various funds that are available in the investors' investment. So all of these things are going to be extremely critical, and all these features are something that we are offering absolutely free of cost on our platform. And I urge you to go ahead and check, go ahead and use these facilities. And agar kuch bhi sawal aapke man mein aata hai, you can reach out to our relationship management team or your respective advisor or your respective relationship manager. And I'm sure they'll be able to take you and they'll be more than glad to take you through the various facilities that are available. We strongly believe that ये जो हम features या facilities offer कर रहे हैं, ये आपके बिजनेस को स्केल अप करने के लिए आपको काफी फायदेमंद होने वाला है. It is going to be very, very useful. So we urge you to go ahead and use these facilities that are made available, and we would definitely make sure that we help you scale up your business over a long term to come. Thank you very much, everyone, for the time that you spared on this call today. I know it's a Friday evening. Much appreciated, and we look forward to being connected with you on more such educative sessions as we walk forward. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.